I'm sorry. I was just what? It was an act. I don't usually do stuff like this. I swear. I'll fix this. I'll fix it. This isn't. Oh no.
They're giving it to us.
What?
Yeah.
James, you expect me to believe that they're going to give us a Lamborghini Aventador SVJ with snow tires in the middle of a Canadian winter. If that's true, I will literally go outside right now in the middle of the street, drop my pants, and take a massive shit.
Listen, that's the 5th time I've done that, and it is as insane the 5th time as it is the 1st time. And the best part about this day for you is that I've been living with this car for a week. James has never driven it before.
All right, Thomas has told me it's just a normal launch. He's all pent up at the moment. I feel really relaxed for some reason. And then all the way down the throttle. Oh my God. And here we go. That's just stupid.
I'd forgive you if you might think that you're looking at the details of some strange medieval torture device. But no, this is the Lamborghini Aventador SVJ. It shares the 6.5-liter naturally aspirated V12 with its non-SVJ sibling, but with a lighter flywheel and clutch and some internals made of titanium, it now makes 759 horsepower and 531 pound-feet of torque. And it's lighter. But the thing that makes the SVJ so impressive is its active aero, which we'll explain in a minute. But other than a blisteringly fast Nürburgring time, probably the best part of the SVJ is, well, looking at it. It's a long, flat blade of angles and corners, and it gives you the impression somehow that in between screaming V12 runs to an 8,700 RPM redline, that it's proud to sit still for photos.
So approach this Aventador Super Veloce Jota from any direction, and you'll think it's non compos mentis. That is, it's utterly insane. And perhaps owning one would be as well. Practicality falls short, and it's so earth-shatteringly loud that you can wake up an entire city with a single downshift, even if they're already awake. And unsurprisingly, it isn't cheap either. The one we're driving today comes in at $680,000 Canadian. Let's see if it's worth it. And if you're new to Throttle House, we do car reviews, track tests, and quite a lot of messing about. So subscribe, hit the bell.
See, we just spent a week with a GT500. You might have seen that video. And these almost have the same horsepower, as near as makes no difference, but this feels like it has 1,000 more horsepower than a GT500.
Oh, the downshifts! Oh my God. I feel like there's a hotline I need to call after I upshift in this car. That sound behind me. One thing to like a V10, but a V12 screams.
anything that comes close to the sound of this car.
The bangs, the pops, the screams. You know, sometimes you're in a car and you feel like you're at a James Taylor concert. This feels like I'm inside of Metallica's lead guitar. Anyone else got a dry mouth?
Before we get to what this car is like to drive on a road aggressively, let's talk about what it's like to live with very briefly. There is no visibility. It doesn't exist. In the back is a cool engine cover which blocks almost your entire view, but Lambo was nice enough to give you a single triangular piece of glass that you could look through. And then they put a rear wing there which completely blocks the entire view. So in order to actually see what's behind you, you kind of have to do this in the rearview mirror to like paint a picture in your brain of what's happening back there.
Visibility is hilarious, absolutely ridiculously terrible.
And thankfully this has a nose lift function. Otherwise, I don't think I would have been able to get it in any single driveway that I've driven in this week. Also, the transmission, which is a single clutch, not a dual clutch, a dry single clutch, is really, really dumb at low speeds. It never seems to know what gear you should be in. So I've found that in order to drive it smoothly around town, you actually just drive it in manual mode and run the gears out a little bit more. But other than that, it actually is quite easy to live with. Once you get used to the dimensions, it's not that hard to drive. The ride's pretty good, actually. And it has four-wheel steering, so it can turn around tight corners pretty impressively well. Okay, yeah, no, see, now I have to turn around on a back road. Doing this is a bit of an event. The door.
Okay, Thomas is on a timeout for that one. So I get to tell you that it has some cool driving modes, but Ego mode, as if the car has any other mode really, means I can select the ride to be in Strada, the steering to be in Sport so that it's not too heavy, and the powertrain in Corsa for maximum aggression. Oh, those gear shifts are so violent. No, not so bad third to fourth. Oh, absolute punch every time it shifts. I like it. I want to be able to feel something.
In Corsa mode, those shifts are so violent. And other than the fact I have a headache now, I love it. Listen, there's very few cars nowadays, I don't want to sound jaded, but actually physically get my heart pumping. This is one of those cars. And it can be yours for the price of 2 of my houses.
I've driven Huracans before. This is my first Aventador. And this isn't just an ordinary Aventador. This one is special.
So, the thing that separates the SVJ from the normal Aventador is all of the crazy aero. It's active, which means that at certain speeds, Lamborghini found a way to adjust the airflow over certain parts of the wing and the front end to either reduce drag or increase downforce. For example, these flaps can open here to allow air to flow through the wing's air channels, which can stall the downforce effect of the wing for high-speed driving. It can even open one side at a time to help the car rotate in the corners. Obviously, you can't feel this on the road. You have to be going on a racetrack at 1,000,000 miles an hour. However, it does have a really cool acronym. ALA. I'm going to try and pronounce this right now in my best fake Italian accent. And if you think you can pronounce it better than me, tag us in an Instagram story with you trying to pronounce it. James tried it earlier and it was an absolute disaster.
Aerodinamica Lamborghini Attiva.
Here we go. It's Aerodinamica Lamborghini Attiva. Oh, that's fun to say.
So, nonsense aside, what's it actually like to pitch into some corners on a back road? Incredibly composed and flat. And with the rear wheel steering and some better chassis tuning, it rotates actually. It's difficult. I'm on snow tires right now and it's cold, so the grip levels are low, so it's easy for me to see what it can do. The rear comes around naturally. On an on-ramp, you can feel it start to move, quite controllable. Good communication coming from the steering and the front end. It's honestly an easy car to drive. Assuming you don't need to change lanes ever.
Oh, it's so flat. It's so flat in those corners. I feel so low to the ground. In a way that the Huracan did not. I have normal indicators, which I'm actually quite grateful for. The Huracan ones are very strange. But the ride is actually not so terrible. And if it weren't for the crazy sound and the fact that I'm in a ridiculous car, you could probably drive this every day. And it's all-wheel drive. Perfect winter vehicle. The brilliant thing is, even in this mode, if I drop down to 40 kilometers an hour and I just drive normally, I might as well be in a Corolla. No, wait, I was wrong. I was totally wrong. It never feels like a Corolla. This thing is crazy. I'm coming.
Are you, James? Are you okay?
I got it. Hold on.
No, you just pull the silver lever. Pull it up with like man strength.
I can't.
Pretend your sweater isn't that color and pull.
Why is this so difficult? Oh.
No, that was me. I did that for you. I got sick of waiting. Come on out. You can't. No one can look cool.
I am a contortionist.
No one can look cool getting out of these.
No, I don't know. Can you look cool when you're in one? Or is it just a little bit too flash?
It's not.
No?
It's not too flash. It is the exact right amount of flash. I dare you to pick an angle that this does not look bonkers.
I agree, and I love what's the name of the color? It's because I keep calling it purple, but it's definitely one of those expensive $15,000 option ones.
It is. It's called Viola Parsife.
Viola Parsife. What does it mean?
Pretty good, right? I have no idea. But everything sounds better in Italian.
Yeah, not everything. Like chlamydia, you know what I mean?
I'm not sure that's Italian.
She told me she was.
Oh my
So
God.
tell me about these wheels, because I feel like they aren't quite $700,000 worth.
No,
in terms of looks.
Well, this is on snow tires because Lambo is as mad as we are and gave us this car in the winter. But I think that this would look good with like a bronze color, maybe.
Bronze or brass against the purple.
Yeah, I think that would look
Really
fantastic.
cool.
That doesn't.
It's mad. Like the front, for example, the car ends here.
Yes, but
right?
it's like, nah, I'm not done.
Yeah, it's like the Fiat Multipla of
It just
of
keeps going.
front splitters.
But
yeah.
in a good way, though.
In a
Like,
good way.
If the McLaren 720S is like a Michelangelo painting, this is a Jackson Pollock. Do you know what I mean? It's just like a whoosh of everything.
The the three entrances to the wing makes it spectacular. This is the sort of thing that people put on their Civics, and it's just everyone's like, stop it. But here, it works.
Yeah, absolutely. And it has the raised exhaust tips like the Huracan does.
The new Huracan. Evo,
Yes, yeah, exactly.
And this
And-
mad diffuser, and everything's carbon fiber.
Everything is carbon fiber.
including
Well, the chassis is carbon fiber.
the doors,
Yes.
which are so light and open like that.
Yeah, it's an absolutely mad vehicle from every angle.
Yeah, I actually
heart it very much.
I tested these vents because everyone says you could, you could fit a child in that.
Yeah.
And I did, and I lost it.
Oh, really?
These white door handles are pretty fetch.
Stop trying to make fetch happen, James. Okay, this is completely mad.
It's mad. It's funny because we get in cars like the R8, and
Yeah.
it feels like a squashed TT, and then you get in the Huracan and it feels like a squashed R8, and then you get in this, it's just stop! Stop, you're about to die.
Yeah. Okay, so this has a lot of optional extras.
Yes. These seats for what?
These seats are $4,700.
Yeah, but
And that's
they're electric, right?
They are powered, and they have some carbon fiber on them, and they're heated.
Well, at least they come with the cool stitch of the SVJ logo in color.
Yeah, that's $800.
Oh, on top?
Yeah.
Well, at least we've got a cool steering wheel, you know?
Yeah. That's also an extra.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, well, just the Alcantara?
The Alcantara part, yeah.
Okay.
It's just, everything in here is insane.
Well, it's also very supercar because there's absolutely no storage. Like, is this even the place for your key?
No, that's supposed to stay in your pocket, I think, because there's no glove compartment to speak of.
Right.
There's mesh netting.
This makes the Miata feel like an F-150.
Yeah, I know. Also, if you look down here at your feet, you can see the carbon fiber tub, which is really, really
Oh, it's
cool.
unbelievable. You normally, when you close the door and it's light, you're like, this feels cheap.
Yeah.
It gets to this point, it goes past, there's like a curve.
Yeah, exactly.
Where if it starts feeling light again, it's like, this is
expensive.
race car.
Yeah, exactly.
But this is one of those things, though, where the experience on the inside matches the drive and it matches the car itself. Like,
Yes.
look at that gauge cluster.
Oh, it's ridiculous,
It's
right?
full-on spaceship. This
Yep.
is actually, compared to the Huracan of the Urus,
This is a little bit,
This is
yeah.
a little one.
Yeah, it's just a
little
little
baby jet plane.
But it does so much more. This is a little bit dated, though. It does have Apple CarPlay, which is nice.
Yes, but you can see how old this stuff is. Although, I
Yes.
found it quite intuitive with these buttons. Like, this obviously matches that.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. It's easy to use. The climate control I find quite simple. I don't know why I'm reviewing the climate control on a $700,000 Lambo, but it's nice. The thing about this car that gets me is that any other car you get in, like a normal person, goes, oh, this is a car. You get in this, and it is automatically different and special. Every single person that has sat in this car goes, what? Right?
Even just getting into the car.
Oh, it's
That's
hard.
half the experience is getting in the car.
You hit your head earlier.
and my back.
You're right, yeah.
Yeah.
We joke about visibility, but like the way that this door comes down right here, I mean, like you can see the ground right there. That's pointless and useless, but you can see it.
Well, you could make friends with squirrels.
How do you say that word again?
Squirrels.
Squirrel.
Well, yeah, Canadians say it in one syllable.
No,
They say
you put
squirrel.
a V in it. That was squirrel.
So I say squirrel. You're looking to get your head bashed in, mate. All right, should we do a conclusion?
Yeah, let's do it on the road.
Okay. The biggest issue here is the obvious one. This car is so blisteringly fast that you can't experience it. You need to be on a supercar planet where you can actually enjoy what this car can do. Because pretty much most of the time, you're just going to be strolling along the promenade flexing, and maybe that's all you want to do in this. But you either need to be on track or a different world, because you get in trouble really fast. The Huracan kind of presents, with the double clutch and the easier to live with dimensions, presents a better car to own. But if you want to have a day of just feeling like a superhero, an actual superhero, then that's where the Aventador SVJ is going to take you to the next level.
Yes, the Huracan is, I think, a better overall supercar. It's more tame, more livable, and it still has insane drama and performance. But there's something really, really special about this car. V12 Lamborghinis are what got me into cars in the 90s. So for me, listen, the journalist in me says that this is stupid and pointless and doesn't need to exist and it's not practical and there's better ways of doing a supercar. But the 12-year-old in me says, more of this, please. As does the 15-year-old, the 21-year-old, and the 32-year-old.